Mr. Vice President, would you tell us something of your discussions with President Eisenhower?
I have had a very pleasant talk with President Eisenhower.
Can you tell us what area his discussions covered?
Well, we mentioned about his historic trip to the Philippines, which produced a tremendous impact in showing the support of the Asian peoples for the world leadership of President Eisenhower. And we talked about Philippine-American relations, as well as some international questions affecting the Pacific and Asian area.
Mr. Vice President, did you discuss with President Eisenhower the subject of the defense of Quemoy and Matsu this morning?
Well, I will rather not answer that question because it has reference to the current political battle here in the United States.
Well, let me ask then, what is your own personal opinion about the defense of Matsu and Quemoy? Should they be defended?
Yes, I believe that Matsu and Quemoy should be defended because to allow them to be taken over by Red China would encourage international communism and would jeopardize the security of the nations in the region.
Mr. Vice President, how would you suggest that they be defended? By whom?
By the nations of the free world, particularly those bound by security arrangements such as those in the CITO, in the Mutual Defense Treaty between the Philippines and the United States, in the Mutual Defense Treaty between the United States and Taiwan.
Well, would that mean then that the Philippines would be willing to fight side by side with the United States and nationalist China to defend Matsu and Quemoy?
If that should be the decision, in accordance with the provisions of these treaties in the Philippines, would do so.
Do you think that the CITO agreement should be extended to include Formosa and the offshore islands of Matsu and Quemoy?
We in the Philippines believe that the regional arrangements for the common security of the free nations should be made larger and larger. So if agreement can be reached in order to extend the field of operation and jurisdiction of the CITO, my country would be favorably disposed towards such a step.
Mr. Vice President, Premier Kruschev cast a sort of a slur on the independence of the Philippines yesterday before the General Assembly.
That is, as you said, a slur. That is not true. Our country is independent. We became independent in 1946 from the United States. But perhaps what Mr. Khrushchev has in mind is that concurrently with our independence, we entered into certain agreements with the United States for our common security. Now, we believe that the conclusion of such agreements, voluntarily entered into, does not negate the concept of our independence, because we believe that the essence of independence is the freedom to enter or not into an agreement with another country. Even other countries older in traditions of freedom have been concluding agreements with the United States for common security, and that has not been considered as a negation of the independence of those countries. So Mr. Khrushchev is wrong in saying that we are not independent. There are countries under the Soviet Union that are not independent, but the Philippines is independent.
What did you think of his choice of language?
It is, to my judgment, typically communistic. The use of invective in lieu of argument, the use of insult in lieu of reason. That is a typical communistic technique, and I believe that Mr. Khrushchev is resorting to it in an effort to bully and intimidate the small nations like the Philippines. But if that is his purpose, he is wrong, because we, the free nations, will not be intimidated against our siding with the free world because we stand irrevocably on the side of freedom and democracy.
Mr. Macapagal, are you going to be the next president of the Philippines?
I hope to be. I united the opposition, the two opposition parties in the Philippines. In fact, I made the announcement upon my departure from Manila, and considering that our people desire a change of administration, and considering the unity of these two opposition parties who are supporting me for the presidency, I see no reason why I should not have the opportunity of leading my country next year.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very
sir.
much.